Yeah, the other team was targeting him, and it's something that he'll probably have to be prepared for his entire athletic career.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be identified as the best player on the other team quickly, and they'll target him. They'll be trying to knock him out of the game. Rather not see it in 9-year-old football, but they were targeting him. They wanted him out of the game.
Yeah.
And that goes to, we don't want to give the football to the same player more than 3 or 4 times a game, so the other team can identify who our best running backs are. We have 8 running backs on this team. They should each get to carry the ball 3-4 times. That's 30 plays.
Yeah.
That's all the offense we'll have. And then they can't target a player. We don't do that. I don't identify number 20 on the other team and say, whenever he doesn't have the ball, you mirror him and tackle him, you know. But as we get more and more competitive with football, the more competitive teams will assign a linebacker to your best player, and he will mirror him, and he'll hit him every play. Maybe even 2 guys will be assigned to certain guys.
How long do you think it takes for them to identify that?
First series. If you give your best player the ball in the first series, the other team knows it.
Yeah.
First series. That's why you have to, strategically, you have to avoid giving your best running back the ball on the first series, so that they can't identify who your best running back is until you've already scored. If you can drive down the field without giving your best player the ball, then they can't identify. Strategically, their defense can't adjust to your offense.
How do you think you guys can protect your teammates from stuff like that?
Block lower.
Yeah, I mean, block lower.
Like keep your eye. Like sometimes you want to keep your eye on the ball, but still look out for like other people trying to hit you.
Well, remember what Coach said a couple weeks ago is, are you supposed to be watching the ball? If you're not playing, are you supposed to be watching the ball?
No, watch your player.
You're not supposed to be watching the ball.
Watch your sub.
Yeah, watch your sub. What do you guys think about Will's hit? Did you guys see it happen?
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. I was right next to him.
You were right next to him, and you were on the other side of him, right?
Yep.
So you were on the inside, right? Or were you on the outside of Will?
Oh wait, no, I was on the. I was on the opposite end.
So it was like Tanner and then him, or no, Blake then him.
Yeah.
Do you think that was unnecessary?
Yes.
A
very
little
much.
bit, yeah.
Even when he didn't have the ball.
Yeah. Have you seen the video yet?
Yeah.
Did it look as bad as it felt?
No.
It felt a lot worse, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Royce said. He said that he was right next to you. I think he was to your right, I believe. And he saw it happen, and he's like, it looked a lot worse in person than it did on the video.
Yeah.
And did you see it come in at all?
No.
What do you think you can do to like protect yourself from something like that? Because hard hits will happen like that quite a bit.
Go run to the ball, and like to see if like anyone's coming my way.
Yeah. Were you supposed to be running and blocking 23, or were you supposed to be running to the ball? Just so that way I understand it a little bit better.
I should have been running to the ball.
But if you watch the video, there really wasn't that much room between when you started, because you went about 7-8 yards, and then just boom, he pinged
But I was kind of jogging to the ball.
Yeah.
And then I got hit.
Yeah. Do you think, like in the game, did you hear anyone saying? There were some people who made some comments like that they were saying specifically go after you. Did you hear that at all, or
no?
You didn't hear anything about that?
But a lot of people said that that coach said that.
That the coach said that.
Because in my mind, football is unlike any other sport. You don't show up day one without any preparation at all, even if you're 9 years old. Yeah. You have to show up physically and mentally prepared for football season every year.
So coaching football, it sounds like there's a lot of build-up to it with kids.
I think there should be. Sadly, a lot of kids, there's not that build-up. To me, I've always felt that tackle football especially is a family commitment. The entire family has to be behind the child. The child has to want it more than anything because of the risks and how much of a time commitment it is. So it's the kids who are out there that just show up on the first day of practice and haven't thrown a ball before. It amazes me how many kids will get to come out to play tackle football as their first sport as a youth, and they don't know how to throw a ball. Not that everyone's going to be a quarterback. Not that I want everyone to want to be a quarterback. But if you've never thrown a ball, I'm not sure tackle football's for you at 9, 10, 12 years old or whatever. They'll end up liking it. They'll all end up liking it. You know, except for the one kid who quit last year and a kid who quit 2 years ago. They didn't end up liking it. They couldn't get over the fear element. It wasn't the injuries, it was the fear of hitting. Yeah. The fear of hitting will freeze kids in their tracks. Yeah. Which we do. You've seen how many times we just use pads. We're hitting pads, we're hitting pads, we're hitting pads, just to get over that fear element that the kids do have.
And the kids generally get over that pretty quickly, you think, right?
Oh yeah. They end up begging us to hit within a couple weeks. They're like, come on, can we hit? Oklahoma, we want to play Oklahoma, we want to play Oklahoma. You know, they beg for it, and we withhold it. What we withhold, they want even more. So we continue to withhold it when they ask for it. We say no. Yeah. And then we schedule 10-minute sessions of hitting, and then they are crazy aggressive and lose their mind, and it's fun.
There was one particular part in the game that happened that was pretty admirable of the other player, of your teammates, when you guys were receiving a kick, and because it was a turnover, you were receiving a kick, and you had caught the ball, but then you got tackled and you lost the ball and fumbled, and the other team got the ball, and you look like you were pretty upset about that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
A lot of your teammates were like trying to console you when that happened. They were like, "It's okay." They were giving you pats on the back, pats on the helmet. Coach Bob came up to you, did the same thing, because I could tell you're upset in the video. I could tell you're upset. I could tell you were probably crying, which is okay, because it was a very stressful game when you're losing like that, and then it just kind of like, and then not only you're losing, but you keep getting pushed back every time. It's just like getting kicked when you're down.
So we have to be prepared. We have to be in the right alignment. Then we have to be competent at the position we're placed in. And we had kids in positions that they hadn't trained at, and I wasn't allowed to go fix it. So I felt my suspension put children in danger, which I don't like at all. You know, it's like, you know, the consequences of my actions put kids at risk in a tackle football game. You know, so what went wrong was obviously my language was a poor choice, but at the same time, do we want children to be in danger because their head coach used one wrong word? You know, did the punishment fit the crime? Could I have been warned if it happens again? You know, I just didn't like kids being, you know, not prepared for a play because I'm on the sidelines.